How's it going? I'm gonna answer an interesting question about when I'm doing piano solo in Bossa Nova, do I have to play the groove all the time? And the answer is no, but some musicians make some arrangements of Bossa Nova sound empty because of the missing groove in some points. And the very good pianists, they maintain always the sensation of the groove. When it was a surprise to me when sometimes I was transcribing and I thought there was a pattern happening on the left hand or in the right hand, that I didn't realize that this pattern ended because the pianist used another resource to maintain the sensation of the groove. This is a kind of auditive illusion that we can create if we use well the piano resources. Let's talk a little bit about this and some situations where we stopped using the groove during our arrangement. I thought first I'm gonna start with the song Samba do Avião. Note that I'm doing the groove. Became a little bit rhythmic, so I give a stronger bass. So I'm gonna continue. And for example, in this moment, that is the chorus of the song. I'm using both hands to make one voice, and I am using the drop 2 voice to create a richer harmony and to emphasize this chorus. So I stopped a little bit to doing I could do together. We stopped a little bit to do this convention. I didn't have the sensation of losing the groove, so it's a very good point to stop to do a richer harmony. And in this Bossa Nova, just after that, actually we have one more convention that's it's common to be used in Bossa Nova, that we don't need to do more grooves, because if you are doing the grooves, you won't explore the richness of all the chords. That's this progression. Have a lot of changes. So if we play the phrase rhythmically, sorry. The next phrase I return to the groove. Create the sensation in the audience that the grooves never stopped. So I won't sound empty, and it's gonna work very good. All right. The same happens when we are improvising. Some people, when they are playing, they are improvising. For example, I'm gonna try to improvise in this harmony. that's improvising changes just to use the rootless chord. So it's improvising. So you lose one part of the song when you're doing this, and others, it's common, they start using just the bass. So the song loses one quality, and when you're improvising, you have to maintain the groove. Some points where you can stop a little bit to do the groove, to point some phrases, like I've done in the chorus of this song. So for example, if you do some rhythmic cues, you're gonna give the sensation of the groove continuing. So for example, that the rhythm is always happening, the harmony is always happening, and my sound doesn't become different, because it's just different when I want to do this different. So it's very important to explore the possibilities in the piano solo. To not some people plays and they seem to have to be playing another sound, another song when they start to improvise. So I think the improvise, you have to, one concept I try to keep in mind is that when you're improvising, you are improvising over a song, over a musical idea. So try to be in the same environment that you were when you were playing the theme, all right? So it's very important to maintain this idea on the head, on the mind, because you're improvising in a song that some person has composed it. So try to create the same environment. And and so it's this. Let me show another example. Here I stopped it to show a beautiful harmony, a beautiful voicing. So I So these were times where I started, I didn't play the groove to show the beautiness of some harmony. And there is after that we can have a convention that's very common in Bossa Nova. 2 8 notes, ta ta, with the second being tied with an quarter note. This is very common. This is very common in this progression. Another common convention of the bossa nova. Let me try to. The first one I've shown, so we can stop the groove. So. Or we can use that very common convention of bossa nova that was happening in the jet samba that I played before. Let me try. Let me do it better voice. Let me go a little. Rhythmic phrase that sounds strong. Alright, so these are some possibilities where you stop the groove to do something besides it. Alright, what else? Rhythmic phrases also. Right, so these are rhythmic phrases and situations that you can use, stop a little bit on the groove. In faster sambas you can do sometimes some breaks. For example, if I'm playing the samba de uma nota só or one note samba, this I often use also in the second on the head of. Now I'm playing pa conventions using the second 16th notes. Pa pa pa. pa pa pa, pa pa pa, pa pa pa, pa pa pa, pa. Or we can explore. Let me try to explore 8 notes. I've never thought this. Wow, this note, the second 16. Sometimes you don't need to use the groove. I'm using now a little bit of the short groove to create the sensation, but you can sometimes in this you can create the voicings, stronger voicings. So note the difference with the groove. So you continue. So I stopped to do voicings, larger voicings. There is one situation at the end of the samba. We use, or I've heard one once this. So here I'm showing the different qualities of the chords. This I'm thinking in this moment to give more attention to these voicings. So this is a very interesting possibility when you are comping in Bossa Nova. What else? Do you have something else to say? Let me play a little bit more. This is a moment where, besides being a convention, I think it's a moment that you can, you are giving attention to richer chords. And there is other harmonization. Also, but you are always doing the repetition. Both hands are playing the same rhythm. You are out of the groove. Okay. In this song, you're gonna have a convention also. it's a lot of times repeated in the song, but in this part I'm using as a convention, differently of doing this. Alright, what else more? Let me play one more song. Resource common in choro, but it's made for the 7-string guitar and with the 6-string guitar. This Chega de Saudade, like I said in another live, it has some influence in choro, especially in the first part, in the introduction, and it has some conventions also. Sorry again. Note that I stopped to do a melodic phrase, or you can also stop sometimes to do phrases on the bass. This can be more interesting. So, and you have to find the melody. Alright, so when you create some phrase, you can open space. Let me show more simple examples. This point is very interesting because we have a counter melody during this, and sometimes it's interesting if you stop the comp, introduce some counter melody. A final convention also. Note that I'm always showing the rhythm, but it stops to do another function sometimes, some counter melody, a phrase, a counter melody on the bass, but the sensation of the rhythm, it's very important to maintain, to keep the sound having its life Alright? Our music is so percussive. And I see often that some pianists, when they are going through some section, they change their behavior. So they are. You lost one part of the song. You can do like an arrangement, but see if you are losing the groove because you want, or for some technical limitation. All right, this is very important to recognize. Why I'm doing that? Do I want this sound? So if you don't find sound, I've talked about a lot of different textures you can apply in your arrangements of Brazilian music. So I strongly invite you to follow my channel and to watch my lives about the different textures that we can apply to play the Brazilian music. You're gonna find a lot of different situations, and if you still have doubts, I invite you to send me comments. These comments will help me to become these explanations better, and they are gonna also help you. So I'm open for questions, and I think that's it. So during a little review of it, I would say that we have some situations as to stop the groove, to show a beautiful voicing, for example, when we want to emphasize some melodic rhythm, when the melody has some strong rhythm and we want to emphasize it. We have the conventions also, two most common conventions in this with 2/8 notes, and other it's very common to also or some variation of this rhythm. Okay, so that is one other it's often used in bossa nova, that has a more Latin influence. Also, all right, so you can explore this. It's not a natural Brazilian, but I see a lot of Brazilian musicians doing it. So I think that's it. All right, conventions and emphasis to some harmonies and some parts you can make the melodies on bass or counter melodies. All right, these are the basics that make me stop a little bit of the groove. All right, but try always to keep the sensation of it. So I hope you have enjoyed this live, and I appreciate a lot your audience. Thanks for watching, and see you every day here talking about the Brazilian piano on Brazilian music. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. Obrigado.